So, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Innovator Spotlight, where we meet remarkable people and solutions in the cybersecurity industry. I'm Armstead Whitney, the CEO of Aptega, and I'm really excited with today's episode to be digging in a little bit more to security awareness training. And I'm really excited about this particular episode because there's some really great things we're going to show you today. And we're welcoming Zach Eichenberry with Hook Security. Zach, welcome to today's program.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's a real great pleasure and honor.
Well, fantastic. Well, I've been reading up a little bit about you guys and your approach, and something you mentioned is psychological security awareness training. So, what is that exactly?
Yeah, so as a headline, psychological security training is the matching of the latest in psychological, neurological, and education research with security awareness training. The background to it is I'm actually an educator. I just came out of starting 2 high schools and a middle school myself. And I was talking with a good friend of mine who's a cybersecurity expert. And I noticed that since about 2008, 2010, we've been importing all the bad ideas from public education into our corporate education space, as in batch processing, one size fits all, targeting the wrong part of the brain when it comes to training and threat recognition. And so Hook Security was built on the idea that we can do better and we can offer a unique type of training that isn't in the market today when it comes to security awareness training.
Well, great. We're gonna show a demo in a few minutes, so I can't wait to see that.
Absolutely.
You know, what types of threats do you recommend companies focus on in their awareness training programs?
Yeah, so the interesting thing about focusing on any sort of threat is that when it comes to what's on the threat landscape today, phishing or fake emails are the number one form.
Mm-hmm.
And so we recommend that you start there. However, we've noticed that once employees realize that technology can fundamentally manipulate them, they start understanding and bleeding over into things like social media. They are concerned with things like Zoom bombing or Zoom attacks. They're within Microsoft Teams, within Slack. They're starting to put their radar up, as it were, in a number of other ways, simply by just doing simulation and training through phishing within a company.
Yeah, it's something we're seeing as well. You know, it's the way that a lot of hackers are getting in and compromising those emails. Never going to stop. So it should be definitely a part of everyone's security program. Kind of my last question before we get into the demo is, a lot of folks watching this today don't have large security teams. They may not even have a CISO. So talk about what the approach should be around security awareness training. It seems like there's a lot of options, and what's the approach Hook Security takes to kind of make this digestible?
Yeah, so when it comes to companies that don't have a CISO, I think actually it becomes more important than ever to train employees, managers, and executives to be aware of what's going on in their inbox. And so we absolutely recommend that you start with some sort of training, which by most people is simply you send out a fake phishing email, you see who clicks, who responds, who opens, who downloads attachments. At Hook Security, we give an instant training moment if somebody clicks and downloads or does something they shouldn't do with a phishing email. But starting there just to know who in your company might be vulnerable or needs a little extra attention, or maybe just needs pulled aside and said, hey, that's a phishing email. And they go, what's that? And then you tell them. That's as simple as it is. So we've made it so that at Hook Security, a small business all the way up to the enterprise can easily do this. We go one step further than most of the offerings out there, and we have a done-for-you service. So if you are not prepared or don't have internal resources and don't even know where to begin when it comes to security awareness training, phishing training, or even if you're on a compliance trajectory, we can step in and take that over on your behalf so that you have expert trainers doing this work month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, and it doesn't take away any internal resources.
That's great. Complete full service. Most companies don't have enough people already, so to be able to add that extra level of service is sounds really great.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
let's jump into kind of how it all works and get deeper into your solutions. So I'm going to stop sharing. If you want to just grab the screen, then we'll dig in and let's take a deeper look.
And there you go. All right. As is Zoom etiquette, y'all can see my screen.
Sure can.
All right. So hook security, like I said, we actually have two ways that people primarily engage with us. They engage with us through a do-it-yourself model. So if you're a security expert or an MSSP, a pen tester, or the like, we give access to this. What you actually see in front of you is both a phishing simulator, so we send out fake emails, and an LMS, a learning management tool that helps you enroll in courses, track people's progress, etc. So I'll go through a couple of those things in here. Another way to think about Hook Security is we're two things in one. We're both a platform, a SaaS company technology solution, but we're also a program. And we, on top of this platform, we've built our own ways of doing course training, doing work when it comes to, like I mentioned before, awareness training, just so your employees are generally aware of when they're being manipulated by technology. But also, if you have compliance requirements, and I think that's something a number of folks that are engaged with the cyber exchange have in their mind. So
Yep.
we do both of those on this platform, but there's a couple other things that get really cool and, dare I say, sexy when you get in here. So, well, what you see when you log in here, of course, would be a dashboard. It'd be a snapshot of what's going on, because we're already in the February here. I'm going to.
So this is an admin view. This is someone who's going to be setting the program up. Would see this.
Yeah. So you could see in here that if we switch some of the data around, you can see historically at one glance the number of emails that have gone out, who's opened, how many clicks, how many people entered something, how many took a training action, which is our instant training moment, and how many of those emails are reported. So how many folks correctly identified and reported a correct phishing simulation. So you can get all that information in one dashboard here, and that's what you see when you first log in. You also see your highest culprits, as it were, over here. These are our top clickers. As you can see, this is a demo internal account. So our marketing guy just loves to click on emails right here, and you can see that all at once. Right now, we don't have any current active tests. And down here, this is something that's unique in the marketplace. If you're familiar with other folks who do phishing simulation or security awareness training, we go above and beyond and allow you to use your own domains, to allow custom domains, etc. You're not just have to stay with our 150 or so domains that we have preloaded into the system. So that's what you have right here. The majority of what people use this for is those phishing simulations, or we call them tests. So when you test your employees, you test your managers, you can come in here and you can manage a test. You can, like I said, we can manage domains, test, and you can even create a campaign. And a campaign is simply a phishing simulation test matched with some sort of action that you're wanting to offer up. Either that's a reply, a click, a download attachment, somebody forward. Any of those are the actions. And then that's paired with a training moment. And of course, one of the things that's unique to us down here is it says enroll failing targets. Targets would be your employees. If somebody fails 2 or more times, typically within a year-long process, they can immediately be enrolled into our phishing one-on-one training course. So you can, this is all a way to automate. So we even have a number of folks who don't do the done for you, but by spending just an hour in our system one time, you can pre-program your entire year and automate all your phishing tests month after month. You can preset your annual training. You can knock it all out, have it set up so that this thing automates and goes for you.
So set it and forget it. That's
set
great.
it and forget it.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched Saturday morning infomercials. So if we were to setting something up, and we could get into this, but a group largely is a company or a group within inside a company, the number of emails that you have synced into our system. You would come through here, you would set these up, you would select either individual targets or the group. who gets notified. We have a fantastic onboarding process with our client success manager who walks you through your early campaigns. We like to brag that you can set up your first campaign in 59 seconds or less. And that our onboarding calls are about 20 minutes before most people are like, I got it, Zach. And then they run and go do it themselves. So it's as simple as doing this, and you go through here and we pick a time and a date. And then it's gonna move on to, here's your course auto enroll. We've selected, here's the course, how to recognize a phishing attack. We can get down into number reply action. So all these things will make sense once you're in the system. What happens when you do a repeat offender. One thing that you'll notice in here, I'm going to go ahead and mention this. Our platform now, as of January, allows you to add third-party content. So if you have subscribed to another content provider, or you like the way somebody else does a course, you can actually just upload those files and those courses in here. So you see companies like Optiv, Goldfish, Global Learning Systems is now in here, and we're working on a partnership with 2 other training companies to upload their content as well.
That's fantastic.
So you can come in here, you can select, if they fail 3 tests within 3 months or, within a year, they can auto enroll. Here is the LMS setting. So when they failed, they're going to get a non-credential token link that goes right to their email address. And they're going to be set up with reminders because most people, once they are enrolled in a course, they need reminders over time in order to make sure that they actually enroll in the course. Now let's get to the cool stuff here. Our phishing templates. So what's preloaded here, it looks like, let's scroll through. I think we have preloaded on this particular account something like 600 templates.
Wow.
In our template library. We have between this and our multiple supported languages, right now we're rolling out 3 languages. By the end of 2021, we should have about 24 languages supported in here. We can pick, for example here, this is, I'm actually going to go to a different place just to show you the templates. So you can see from a visual angle what the templates are, but here we have Adobe templates. They can be sorted by different types of targeting, what kind of phishing experience you're looking for, internationally, or difficulty like tier 1, 2, or 3, and we can come in and say, okay, let's scroll down to Chase Bank, if that's relevant to your people, or a Chick-fil-A offer. I know you're in Atlanta, the home of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, one in every corner.
We actually have a Chick-fil-A email. This is a preview of it. So check out how this looks.
Wow.
That right there.
Wow.
And what we have is actually a phishing template simulator where you can upload any email and we will make a copy of it.
Wow.
And
now
so,
tell me, a lot of us, when we look at emails, we look at the sender's name. And so you talked about that in the opening around being able to change that, but you said the company can actually use their own email domain?
Yeah, they can upload that or another type of spoof domain that they would like. We have some best practices that we surround. We like to say our point is not to trick people. Our point is not to train people.
Yeah.
So we are absolutely great with being devious, but only as devious as the bad guys are. Yeah. And so we like to mimic their tactics, which means they're typically, most people have some sort of, between their Microsoft Office or Gmail and firewalls and third-party spam, have a way to determine if somebody's spoofing their own domain. So what we're talking about typically are other domains that are close to a vendor that you might use, or you just are creative yourself and you're like, I want to create a Starbucks.com, and I'm going to send out a Starbucks campaign off of Starbucks. Most of our phishing, depending on the tier of difficulty here, it is going to be, the obvious giveaways are going to be the sender doesn't look quite right. The call to action is a little too urgent. It's too good to be true on something, or it's saying that it's coming from somebody that it shouldn't be coming from. Like for instance, a CEO saying, "Hey, this is my personal email address. I need you to do this for me," that kind of thing. So those are usually the giveaways because, like I've said, we can get pretty devious, and you can get in here and, like I said, there's about 5,000 different variations of templates from all sorts of different brands. This one was pretty popular back in
Oh yeah.
March and April, the COVID one, of course. That was a big spike we saw. So we have all those ready to go. If I come back to, well, I got to go to manage campaigns now. But if I go back to the campaigns, you can got to do this little guy. We can go all the way through, and so I was on the phishing template. Target selection. Targets are the people that are enrolled in the system, and there's the two most popular ways to enroll targets are through our Microsoft Active Directory sync, so that you connect via your own credentials. So we actually don't have access for those people who are in compliance. We have a few different ways to protect to make sure we don't have ubiquitous access to your Active Directory through our system. And if you decide to do Active Directory sync, there's an option where before every test that goes out, every simulation, it checks and resyncs the Active Directory to make sure their users are correct, the email addresses are correct, in case you've had some churn or turnover with your employees. And then the second is a pretty simple CSV file, which is just first name, last name, email address that we can upload into the system. So you go through your target selection, and you can filter out different things. If you know that there are mass email addresses, you have something like finance@yourdomain.com, and that gets forwarded to 3 different folks. We can filter some of that out, even though again, going back to best practices, we don't recommend you doing that too much, because again, that's how the bad guys, that's an obvious sign that the bad guys are coming after you, is they're using some of these email addresses that admin at, or support at, payables at, receivables at, knowing that they might catch somebody off guard in there. And then you verify and run the test, and it's simple as that. And then once it's scheduled, you can set it and forget it, like you said. And so that's the real cool part on that. But let me get into the last part that's really the icing on the cake. So most of our competitors in this space offer up reporting that has about 60 to 70 data points in it. Our reports offer up 150 plus data points. So if you want to know everything about your company, all your employees, their behaviors over time, we can get in here and we can run a number of different, let's see, I'll do a summary report. Let's click through here. It's kind of dangerous. I don't know exactly which one this is, but you can have different report sections in here. Again, a good client success person will tell you what all of these mean, but we can run a report. And when you get into the reporting, you're going to see a number of things. You're going to see net reporter score. This is how many people reported versus how many failed over time. This is a one instance. I can show you a trend line here in a moment, but this is, how many people did failed, scheduled targets, delivered, open, clicked, how many people received training. And you can get down in here. Again, this is a preview summary of it all in a nice, pretty graph way, so that you can see in one glance. I'm going to go back and actually show you a trend line one here. But we can show trend lines over time, and that's really important for especially people who are on maturity pathways for their compliance, CMMC and the like, that you can demonstrate over time a reduction in employee risk.
Right.
Let's see here. Let's get in summary with metrics. Let's go down here and let's find somebody that's like this report section. You can always choose a cover page. I should also mention that our platform isn't completely, you can white label everything but the videos.
Okay.
And so if you're a reseller or a partner, or again, a consultant, and you want to put your logo in, or you want to say that this report is provided by, and you're managing it on somebody else's behalf, all of that can be white labeled. We can even white label all the transaction emails that come in and out of here. So you can run it through your SMTP, and it can show up as your company. So we've built it so that we can be anonymous behind the scenes, or you can put us front and center however you like.
So
Um,
how does the general sort of packaging of this work? Is it if I license the platform, I get everything I see here, or do you license by how many courses or templates I have access to, or what's sort of the packaging model?
Yeah, so the packaging model, you essentially you have two different ways. If you're a partner reseller, then there's a partner subscription, and that gets you access to our wholesale pricing. It includes 150 users that you can test out however you like, and it gets you full access to the system and every
Hmm.
course. We do not gate our content. We do not make you pay platinum for more content. We have essentially one large library that you have full access to. So that right there is at this point in time, as of February 2021, is 149 a month. And then again, that you can resell those user seats however you want. So
Hmm.
that's less than $1 a seat. And then when you get into our wholesale pricing, we can show you that. But largely, your markup's about 100%. You have an opportunity
Got
for
it.
100% margin. And the way that we like to do it now, again, Q1 2021, is we have a per organization pricing. So we've been moving away, like a number of other people, from this per user per month modeling, which is fantastic for infrastructure. Security budgets are annual and fixed. And so we just meet those security budgets where they're at. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what you have is a flat organization pricing that goes up to 50 users, and at this point, or sorry, up to 100 users, and then up to 500 users, it's flat. So that way you don't nickel and dime if you're a reseller, your partners, and if you're a client, you don't feel nickel and dime yourself. You can get in
Yeah.
here, you can do what you need to do. 2021 is in my estimation, going to be a banner year for security awareness training and Hook Security. We're being aggressive. We want to be a major player in this space, and so we'll do whatever it takes to win deals. And that's why you see this business model.
Well, you're well on your way, and I want to make sure the time we have left, I want to show everybody where to find you in Cyber Exchange, and you'll be able to contact Zach and his team. Anything else you want to show us before we go through the Cyber Exchange listings?
Um, at this point in time, I think we're good. If you are curious about our videos and our training moments, you can always go on our website, hooksecurity.training preview.
Yeah.
And there's a number of videos also uploaded to YouTube where you can see our compliance training, which is known as our deep dives down here, our security awareness training, and our training moments. So we have some real fun content. Think of us as SNL skits meet security awareness training.
I love it. SNL skits meets security awareness. That's a great tag. Well, I'm going to grab the screen and take everybody to your Cyber Exchange listing. And this is one-stop shop for a lot of products and services, including finding Hook Security. So I just picked a Hook Security from the provider dropdown. What we've done is we've mapped all of Hook Security's products and solutions to every single major framework. So I can select, CMMC, and it'll show me exactly where Hook maps to those direct requirements for CMMC. But I can click into any of his listings, and you can learn a lot more information. You can actually review a little PowerPoint deck here, kind of go through some things we covered today. You can see the different types of features that the training platform includes, and also a little bit about the pricing. You mentioned that you're changing from per user to more of an enterprise, so you'll be updating that in Cyber Exchange, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But again, a great way, and you want more information, you want to get a quote from Zach and his team, just simple as this. You'll just click the Get Quote button, and they'll get right back to you very, very quickly. You also get a special 10% discount, so people love discounts. And if you hit up Zach through Cyber Exchange, you'll get that 10% discount, and we all love that. So really appreciate your time today, Zach. This was, a great session. I'll kind of get back now to our PowerPoint here. I guess, in closing, as you kind of look at the industry, 5 years from now, there's a lot of AI, there's machine learning. How do you kind of see, this topic in a few years as technology matures and as the threat actors get more mature?
Yeah. So in closing, I would say that it's our point of view that information security and InfoSec needs to continue to focus into its technology tool stack, and that artificial intelligence has some potentiality to really actually change the cat and mouse game when it comes to security world. What we argue is that human intelligence is still critically important as opposed to artificial intelligence, and we need a new market category, and we call that PsySec, or psychological security. So we're out arguing that other companies are welcome to join us and to begin to raise the banner and say that humans are distinctly different from our computers and our technology, and we need solutions that focus on the human element of a company. So we're big fans of InfoSec, but our point of view, our dream is to build out a new market category known as PsySec over time.
Well, it looks like you're well on your way, and you have a great UI experience as well, very easy to follow. So check it out. Check out Hook Security on Cyber Exchange. And from all of us at Cyber Exchange, I want to thank Zach Eikenberry for his time today. And Zach, thanks again.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you, Armistead.
All right, we'll see everybody on the next Innovator Spotlight. Take care.
Sounds good.